Thank you. Thank you. First, I would really like to acknowledge and thank you, Jen, for being my co-host and for helping me with my technical support. And then I would like to say hello to each and every one of you on the screen. Dawn, Beth is missing, but thank you for being here. Hello, Tana. Nice to see you. Maybe, yeah, for the first time, maybe. Hi, Purva. Lovely to see you. Absolutely. And thank you for the message you sent me. And Karen. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you after a long time. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to be with you again. Yeah. Hi, Francisca. Big hug to you too. Lovely to see you again. Yeah. And Suki, hi, welcome. Lovely to see you. I cannot read the name in Japanese, but welcome. Lovely to be with you. Do I know you? I know your face, but I can't get your name. Can you please just tell me your name? I'll be lovely. Be lovely. In English, you can just say it if you don't mind, or even Japanese, but just I can't read that.
Yeah, I'm changing my name. I'm Shizuka. Sorry for that.
Shizuka, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Shizuka, welcome. And hi, Sarah. Sarah Joy, welcome. Hi, Jeanette, welcome. Hi, Donna, welcome. Hi, Dawn, welcome from Canada, yeah. And hi, Allison, welcome, welcome. Hi, Monica, lovely to have you with me today and all of us, yeah. Hi, Julia, welcome. Hi, Harmony, welcome, welcome. And everyone else who will be joining, I'm just so grateful for your presence here.
Juliana, it's so nice to see you. This is Allison, and I just wanted to let you know that for some reason, I can't seem to get my, I've got my camera on and everything, but it's not showing me on the screen. So I'm not incognito on purpose.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But I'm here.
Yeah, no, I can feel your presence, and thank you for just checking in with me. It means so much to just know you're here and, to have heard your voice. And Francisca, how are you keeping? I just want to know. It's always, you're always there in my mind. How are you keeping? How are you doing? Good, fine, lovely. Yeah. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. And I would like to start with a small self-connection exercise, please. So may I invite all of us to find a comfortable position and you may let your gaze soften or close your eyes as you wish. Now let your awareness expand to your breath. Breathe in and be aware that you are alive. The miracle of being alive. I am a breathing being. Take a full breath in. Slowly. Filling the body with life. And as you breathe out, release the breath completely. Having a sense of letting go of any tension into the hands of beloved divine energy. And rest in the awareness that you are not alone in facing life. Now bring your attention to your heart. It beats automatically. I hardly think about it. I trust that the power who created my heart controls its working. I rest in the trust of this higher power. Feel your body supported by the earth below. Rest into the place where your body meets the chair or the cushion. Feel the stability of the earth beneath your feet. Feel the support as the earth comes up to meet your feet. If your feet are on the ground, or whatever support where your feet are, feel that connection and rest into that support. Secure in the arms of the force of gravity holding you. Now, consider myself and each one of you yourselves as if suspended in space between the earth below me and the heavens above me. The heavens with all its stars and planets. May I rest in this knowing that I am a child of the universe, no less than a star in the sky. I matter. I belong. I am enough. And when you are ready, you may come back to the community space and you are invited to place your palms together and give a bow of acknowledgement to the divine in each one of us. And the divine in each other. And Jen, may I request you to please please project the first slide with Marshall Rosenberg's words. The one with Marshall Rosenberg. Yeah, here, this one. Thank you, Jen. And I invite you to take this into your heart. Take these words into your heart. We are this divine energy. It's not something that we have to attain. We just have to realize it, to be present with it. Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. And now, Jen, may I request you to please open up the breakout rooms with 2 people in each room. And sure. I invite you, yes, and I invite you to your breakout room to just share whatever is alive in you just now with your partner. There will be 2 people in each breakout room, and the breakout room will be open for 10 plus 1 minute countdown. And each one is invited to take 5 minutes to share. Thank you. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, I just going to say, so if you do not know how to rename yourself, don't know how to rename.
Yeah,
you
so
can send a message to either Juliana or me, or just in the chat, and Juliana can rename you with an equal sign.
Yes. So, yeah. Jen, may I request you to please just do that if you don't mind. So anyone who would like to not join a breakout room can put an equal to sign. And Jen will, if you want to rename yourself, Jen will also take care.
I am not able to. Just... So yeah, Juliana, if you're able to rename them, that would be
okay. Don't rename. It's okay if you don't rename also. You can just do it yourself actually. But if you don't want to join, and you can do it by, pressing the 3 buttons on the right side of your screen and then scrolling down to the option of rename and rename it. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, and Jen,
about 4 minutes for me to make the rooms, Juliana.
Oh, okay, sure. You need a minute or so.
About 4 minutes, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, Jen, that's perfectly okay. So I will just invite you to walk this journey with me as I share with you the topic that we're going to explore today on transforming enemy images. And even as I start, I would just like to acknowledge respectfully that when I use the word enemy, I realize that it's a label, and a label that can be quite painful for me when I even imagine what it means. And so I would like to acknowledge that I use it just to refer to the other person with whom I'm interacting. And this other person is also a member of my world family, as all of you are. Yes. So thank you very much. That is what I would like to say. And even as I'm speaking now, at the outset, I want to acknowledge and with gratitude, Jim Mansky, my assessor, though he's not here, for this opportunity to share with all of you. And to acknowledge Jim Mansky, who was my first NVC trainer to talk to me about this topic, to share with all of us in her group at NVC India convention in 2017. There she shared about this topic of transforming enemy images, and it just fascinated me. And I find myself using this process whenever I feel stuck with the pain of separation that I experience in any moment of interaction, and I just need it. I just need it to work through it. Otherwise, I don't have my peace, which comes from connecting with people. I don't have that peace within my heart. So I keep struggling to find the way, and I will share with you all the tools that I use in that process. As I keep struggling to transform the energy with which I'm holding this person. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And just at the outset, let me just say this one sentence, that the medicine for enemy images is self-empathy and empathy. This is what helps me connect back to my personal power within me. Yeah. And to give me that power to choose what would make life more wonderful for me and more wonderful for the other person. Thank you. Jen, are you ready?
Almost. I just need to do one more run through, make sure I've caught everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jen.
All right. How many minutes would you like the room open for?
I
Juliana?
think I was thinking maybe we'll lessen the time. If we'll make it 3 minutes per person. So 3 plus 3, 6, and 1 minute for countdown. All right.
Okay.
Is that okay? Or shall we make it 5 minutes? Let's make it 5 minutes as we planned earlier. 5 minutes per person, Jen. Is that okay? And 1 minute for countdown to come back.
And what
Thank
are they
you,
going to
everyone.
do in the breakout rooms, Juliana?
So in the breakout room, thank you, Jen, people may please are invited to share what is alive in you just now, just after going through the meditation, or why you have come to this call, or just any celebrations you have, any challenges you have, whatever is alive in you that you're looking to work on for yourself, whatever. Thank you so much. Just checking in with how you're feeling and what you're longing for in this moment. That's enough. Whatever's in your heart. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to open the rooms for 10 minutes. And yeah, there's a call for help button if you need anything. And if you find yourself in a room by yourself, if you just hold on for a minute, I'll do some adjusting after we open the rooms. So I'm going to open all rooms.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane.
All right, Dawn, do you see button to Dawn in Bellingham? See a button to join breakout room 2? And Tana, yes, I put Tana, you're in a room called No Breakout with you and your partner, but you're welcome to stay here in the main room. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Dawn, did Dawn freeze? No, do you see the thing to join a breakout room, Dawn? With Suki? In room 2? Juliana, would you like to go to room 2? No, Dawn got there.
Jen, I think I'll just be, I will be with you, Jen, I think, just now.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
just, so there was someone that their partner wasn't able to join, but they're there now. That's why I was asking you.
Okay, thank you, Jen.
Yeah, sorry, Juliana, I tried to send a message about the time. I'm gonna just pause the.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Lovely to see you all back and welcome everybody. Welcome everyone, the new people who have joined, Roxana and Daisy and Jeffrey I've seen, and anyone else who I haven't welcomed. Welcome to the call. And would anyone like maybe 2 or 3 people we can take, like to share about how it was for you and in the meditation and the breakout room? Anything that you would like to share? Yeah, please. Yeah, Alison.
There. Well, first I just wanted to say a great appreciations for Juliana's delicious meditation. I could listen to that every day, every day. It was a living prayer, a blossoming prayer. It was poetic. It was so heartful and divinely conductive. So I'm very appreciative and rejoicing, and thank you for that beautiful gift, Julia. That was really, really
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Alison.
So that's.
I just want to say, I feel your divine energy flowing into me just now, and I want to just thank you for that. So it's connecting us really into my heart. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hello, Josie. Welcome. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm having technical trouble tonight. I just wanted to say that I am stunned, and this happens every now and then, that it seems there was a divine intention in me being linked in my small group with Jeanette, who shared some things that she is processing and going through that I am having a lot of pain trying to process.
Mhm.
And just very quickly, one example is I've grown very attached to a woman in my neighborhood. I really like her, and we've spent wonderful time connecting. And recently, I've noticed she has distanced. And tonight, I had sent her a short note with all my NVC skills and invited her to share with me if there's anything she needed to say. And basically, she told me she didn't want to be friends anymore. She doesn't click with me. She doesn't gel. There are things about me that are difficult for her, and this is not a feeling, but I shared that I sensed that I was being thrown in the trash by her. there was no indication that she would want to be friends on any level. And so, yeah, this was a model. Jeanette was a model for me and of hope. And so I'll close with that. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Josie. Josie, and thank you, Janet. Yeah. Josie, I'm just hearing that there's a lot of pain over a relationship with a friend, and you're sitting with the pain, and even as you are attending to yourself through the process that we're going to enter into, I just believe that you will find your own personal power to choose what is going to best serve you, the life in you, and the life in the other person. And you will get that strength as well. I just believe. Yeah. Thank you, Josie. With you in the process. Yeah. And thank you, everyone who shared. And is there anyone else? I just wanted to ask you. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Josie, can you put your hand down if you have finished, or is there something you still need to speak? Okay, thank you, Josie. All right. So I would like to start with this presentation of transforming enemy images. So our nature is to be connected. And when this doesn't happen, there is pain. From the moment we are born and in our mother's wombs, we are connected. So when there is separation of any kind, there is pain. And sometimes in the moment, I may not have the resources to just deal with the pain. And so what I do is, when the pain is more threatening than my need for connection in the moment, then to defend myself or protect myself in the moment, I may just form an enemy image. That is, I kind of distance the person so that I can heal myself and be strong enough first. And then, and only then, will I be able to reach out and interact with the other person. So what is the definition of the enemy? How would I define the enemy? I would like to have 2 or 3 people's responses to this. How would you define the word enemy in your experience, whatever it is? Everyone has a different experience and a different definition of how you perceive the enemy. Let's have 2 or at least Karen. Yes, Stanley, thank you.
Well,
yeah.
this is unrehearsed, of course. But in this moment, I would define it as someone or something that with what I feel with whom I feel a lot of fear and pain.
All right.
And in that moment, I cannot see the God qualities in that person. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. So a lot of fear you experience and some pain, whatever the pain is, and you cannot feel the connection with the person. Thank you so much for that. And Tanya.
So Juliana, I heard you say something earlier that really struck me when you were talking about your explanation of using the word enemy image. And you said feeling the disconnection. That you were saying, you know, even like a momentary disconnection, or in the moment when you feel this disconnection, you know, that's what in it. And I thought that was just a very illuminating, you know, perfect way of saying it, because you know, when we have a disconnection with another person, when they're not aligned with our needs, they're not aligned with our values, then we assign some wrongness to them. We assign a wrongness to them as an object or as an unchanging being. And then we start having negative feelings about them based on that. And we can come up with all the different ways that they are wrong. And then that sort of piles on if we let it, and suddenly there's someone we don't want to have anything to do with again. So I really love that you brought it back to, there's a moment of disconnection. I think that was really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And again, I want to thank you for what you've just, this beautiful input about the person not being in alignment with our values or needs. And again, I'm going to say, in that moment, and therefore we experience this pain of separation, right? Thank you for this. And why I say in the moment is because I'm, me personally, I feel such a disquiet inside me when there is a disconnection, and I need to make sense of it, because as I said, man's nature is to be connected. And when that doesn't happen, there is pain. So I just need to process it. And it goes on overnight, trust me. And it goes on over days and over weeks, and more insight and more, more and more kind of wisdom seems to come into me as I give myself empathy, as I seek empathy from other people. And I really come out of this, not just transforming the enemy image, but transformed in my being itself, and I feel so grateful for that, for this process, therefore. Thank you, Tanya. And Janet?
I think for me, it's been a process of threat and loss. When there's a perceived loss, and I actually feel it and have to grieve it, but that loss started a long time ago for me. I had to learn that I projected my needs onto other people, and they were not met from a long time ago. So now when there's another loss, that pain is even more intense. And it's because now I have a chance to heal something from some other realm. We talked about the divine, some other place where now it's not based on needs, it's based on mutuality. And if that isn't there, that's a different type of loss than the grieving that is heartbreak. So it's very, very, it's almost a spiritual practice of perception of where it came from and what did I place on that other person to meet my need. And then there's heartbreak, but then how do I put that need back on where it's supposed to be? Because nobody can meet my needs all the time, everywhere. People die. There's all kinds of stuff that happens, not intentionally. So I think it's the enemy image is a opportunity to take pain and see what can come out of that on the other side. And it's very humbling, because there's a gift in it, but at first it feels like they're the problem.
Thank you, Janet, for sharing. And I heard you say there's a threat, there's a loss, and many times it may have its origin in childhood or at a time when I did not, I could not take care of myself. and my needs were not met. And today I am a wise adult, and I can take that little child on my lap and take myself in my arms and find new ways to meet my own needs, which were not met. And because they were not met and they are not, that wound is not healed, it's possible that those memories may come up again and disempower me. But today, I have so much as a wise adult. Like you said, divine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it comes from
So
some
much.
mysterious, it's not me. It's being open to
Yes.
receiving the healing in a different way.
Thank you so much. That makes so much sense that many times we human beings find we are so we're all imperfect, working towards perfection, and we end up wounding each other. And yeah, and
Thank you.
and the self in me, the source of life in me, I'm able to 100% meet all my needs. Yeah, just to say that. And this is my experience, Janet. I just want to testify to that as well. Yeah, and thank you everyone for whoever shared. And I would like to just continue with what do I have here about the definition of an enemy. So there is a feeling of separation. And according to the dictionary, enemy is someone who is unfriendly in the sense that cold, someone who I think wants to hurt me, someone who I think deserves to be punished, my expectations or my beliefs or my needs, that it should be some way that my needs are met. Some one way or the and only this one way are not met. From this one person in this one way, that is not met. And I create so much suffering for myself, so much pain for myself. Someone hurt me maybe, okay, so bad, and it happened more than once. And something in me was damaged and lost. And the pain is so great, yeah. And besides that, whatever you've done here, Karen and Sarah and Janet have added. Thank you so much for that, yeah. And the image part of myself, okay, enemy image. The image part of myself is that I created this image in my mind, my interpretation. And so I can recreate it. So that's the hope. So enemy image together is a moral judgment. Remember, there are value judgments which are so precious to us, which tell us about the quality of life we want to live and are precious and beautiful. And there are moral judgments. So enemy image is a moral judgment, a label for a person. We dehumanize each other with labels. Like, you are a box. I put you in that box and I label you. And the fact is that we are always evolving with time. And under the label is a human being. So can I get connected to the humanity of the other till they are no longer other? I just want to share because it's so alive in me. This experience I had just recently when I was struggling how to see the other as other. And suddenly this insight came into me that this person is a part of my human family. And I find it so easy to forgive my own family members, but I was struggling here. And the moment I said human family, and I could take that into my heart, about how she wasn't really a part of my human family. I was set free. My heart opened to embrace her. That was, and this happened, maybe a week ago, so recently. So I just wanted to share it. She's no longer other, she's a part of my human family. Of my world family, I would say, because, yes. Now, holding an enemy image can be a strategy to meet my need for safety, survival, fairness, needs for protection in the moment. Okay, I always look for hope, for liberation and transformation. Now, I would like us to go through this process for ourselves. And I request you to, if you have a book or paper, to journal as we go through the steps of this process of transforming the enemy image. Okay. And I would request you, Jen, I would request you to remember a specific time when you felt separate from someone with whom you have an ongoing relationship. Perhaps there is a reluctance to communicate or connect. Someone did or said something consciously or unconsciously to stimulate pain. And you feel they need some education, or they deserve some punishment or something like that. And I request you, invite you to pick something on a scale, okay, of 1 to 10 that has an intensity of around 5. And Jen, may I request you to the process, the slide, the first point, if we can just put that up.
It's taking a minute to load, Juliana.
Yes, yes, thank you. So just let the first point float up, please. Thank you. That's enough. Thank you, Jen. So the first point, thank you, Jen. It's working. Yeah. So the observation is, remember a specific time when I felt separate from someone with whom I'm having an ongoing relationship, and just write down the observation. What did that person say or do that stimulated the pain? So I will just, to give you an example, just share my situation. So I was in conversation with one of the members of a group that I was with, and another group member stopped me with the words, "Juliana, you already spoke 3 times and XYZ has not spoken." And the way she kind of stopped me, the way she literally stopped me while I was in conversation with somebody who had asked a question, really kind of created a pain in me. I experienced a pain in me. All right. So you too, please do write this first point out. Just what did that someone do or say? Just a line, maybe a sentence, whatever it is. The observation, the neutral observation. Thank you, Josie. Thank you for your example, which is in the chat. And if you would like to communicate during this time, you may do so in the chat. Just be with your process, even as you listen to my words. Vent, the second step. Jen, can you please float up the second step? Thank you, Jen. Vent. Let out my judgment about the other person, the pain of my unmet need. Any judgments or evaluations coming up about the other person, write them down just now. Let the jackals, that is another word for the judgments, run. Let the jackals run. Let it all out till the jackals drop down panting and need to rest. So for me, it was this person. She's so rude. She's so uncaring. She's so insensitive. These were my judgments, some of my judgments. And you can write down yours. Jen, we have the third point. And now, let me mourn the pain of my unmet need. Mourning is the acknowledgement that I feel sad about my need not being met. The pain points to the love and care that lives in my heart. Mourning is making my heart big enough to hold the pain of the unmet need. A kind of acceptance. A sweet pain. Where I let go of any strategy that I may have used, or whatever. I let go of the past. And I just cling to my beautiful need in the moment and enjoy the sweetness of that need, that beautiful longing. pure longing, separated from the strategy that I must have it in this way from this person only.
Juliana, did you want me to put the next point up or not quite?
Yes, the next point, Jen, please. Then say to myself about the observation, this is reality as it is. Because my observations actually are what they're supposed to be this. What I see, what I hear with my senses, what I taste, touch. So my observations are really what I can capture with the have a camera, video camera or a tape recorder. I can actually capture these words. So this is so that it's not as if I'm imagining it. This is my real experience of reality as it is. I heard with my ears and what I saw with my eyes that happened between me and the other person in that moment. Point number 5. Then say to myself about the judgment of the enemy. I am telling myself X, Y, Z, and I do not know the reality of that person yet. I'm telling myself that this person is so rude and so insensitive, and I do not know. That is what I'm saying. She's so rude and so insensitive is my story, my interpretation, what she said to me in that moment. And I do not know the reality of that person yet. So this thing that she's so rude, it may not be the truth. Because I do not know. I've not spent enough time trying to understand the frame of reference from which that person spoke those words. So in the moment, this is what I'm telling myself, that she's so rude, and I do not know. Actually, the fact is the reality of that person as yet. And point 6. I notice and I name my feelings. What are my body sensations? What are my emotions? I allow myself to feel what I feel. So I feel some pain, sadness, a little bit of annoyance at being interrupted and not being allowed to speak. So I ride the wave. I feel my feelings. I ride the wave of my feelings. And I breathe into the intensity of that pain. And what it has been noticed is that it takes, when I breathe, into the pain, if I take 6 slow, deep breaths, in 90 seconds approximately, my nervous system gets regulated. My sympathetic nervous system, which kind of just reacts, it settles down. and my parasympathetic nervous system comes online. So my feelings settle down and they metabolize. That means they change into, in that calmness, I can change and I can connect with my longings and my needs as my feelings settle down. So my feelings metabolize and I am able to be calm enough to think with my prefrontal cortex and get in touch with what are my body sensations, what are my needs, what am I longing for. Actually, the body sensations really lead us to what we are longing for. What am I needing in this moment?
Juliana, do I put up the next one or not?
Point
yet?
7. Yes, point 7.
Yes, sorry, I can't see them.
What am I longing for? And I translate each judgment into my unmet need under the judgment. So when I say she's so rude, I'm longing for some care. When I say she's so insensitive, under the judgment, I'm longing for her understanding about my need for contribution in that moment that I'm speaking. So I'm longing for care, understanding of my need for contribution. What are you longing for? And point 8, now I have this enemy image in the moment that I'm holding on to of this person just to protect myself from further pain, okay, in the moment. So I've distanced her a bit, okay, as I said, I just, don't want to be too close to her or I'll get more pain. So I decide to, just keep my distance and be quiet and to process my pain. So I'm holding on to the enemy image, okay, at the moment. So what are my needs met in the moment by holding on to the enemy image? My needs are for safety, but so I keep a distance, for protection, okay, in that moment. So I keep a distance and I'm very careful about my tongue, okay, so and how much I'm speaking and what I'm speaking, and I'm just kind of holding in. So my needs met are protection and a little bit of safety in that moment. I don't speak. I won't get another barrage of pain. So maybe I'll just keep shut for a moment and allow other people to speak. Yeah. So my needs met are for safety and protection by keeping a distance and by just keeping a distance from this person and just being more aware of my need.
Yeah,
For
Juliana, is it okay if I
more
ask?
sensitive.
Is it okay if I ask, was there a need for care for you too? Like care for yourself?
Yes, absolutely. When I say a need for care, I mean a need for care for myself. Jen,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Jen, for this. Yes, I really, the safety, protection, care for myself. Yes. And the next point, number 9. What are my needs not met by holding on to the enemy image? So by holding on to this enemy image and just choosing to keep my mouth shut, my need for contribution is not being met. My need for connection is not being met. And also my need for peace within. I notice there is some turmoil going on inside me because I am, blocking my aliveness in some way. And so that, and the connection with this person is, not had a dialogue and sorted this out. So the connection with this person is somewhere broken, and my peace also is a little disturbed. Yeah. So my needs not met are my needs for contribution, my need for connection, and my need for peace within in that moment. So what are your needs not met by holding on to the enemy image? Now, can we go to the next point, please?
Juliana, could you just say that last sentence again?
So what I said is my needs for contribution, for connection, and for peace within my heart.
Thank you.
Were not met. Yes. There was, no harmony between me and the other person. So that's where my peace was disturbed. And the next point, and this is the medicine that I give myself, okay? And this self-empathy for myself, I could not do it absolutely in that moment efficiently. After that meeting, I had to work with myself, and it happened like it was a struggle. It went on like, because it was not just connection with myself, it was connection with the other person. So self-empathy actually is empathy for myself. And what I do is, how I do it is, I give myself self-talk. Like I speak words of love and hope to myself, and I can give it to myself. Here is the power that I can give it to myself. So with self-empathy, I reclaim my personal power and my personal choice. And so once I reclaim my personal power, I'm able to reclaim my personal choice, to discern, to see clearly, and to consciously choose my way forward based on my needs and values in the moment. So as I give myself self-empathy, I connect with what am I longing for, okay? And I'm longing for understanding. I'm longing for so I'm longing for connection in the sense of, for me, connection in that moment meant understanding, okay? I'm longing for understanding from this other person. And so I give myself that love and understanding. And this is very personal, and I'm sharing it. The words I speak to myself to give myself power, in any moment when I'm feeling I don't have confidence and I need confidence, or I need enlightenment or something like that. I need courage. The words I speak, and this is very personal. I am the beloved child. I, Juliana, am the beloved child of the Most High God. So I say it this way. So it can be translated as I am the beloved child of the universe. It could be any way you choose, okay? But it is the words that you speak. So when I speak these words to myself, I imagine my God holding me, really holding me close, and stroking my hair, and I can feel his love flowing through me, saying, you are my beloved. I love you so much. You can't imagine how much I love you. And as I get into that love and, let it seep into every cell of my body, I begin to feel healed. And then suddenly I remember, I am the beloved God of the Most High God. So, I think, oh my God, I say, oh my goodness me, my God is the creator of the universe. He's so mighty and so powerful. And, he's going to help me, and I can feel that power flow into me, that he is with me. I'm not alone in this situation. And I feel that courage also seeping into every cell of my body. And then I am able to go out when I feel healed and whole to face the other person, the enemy, or the person who has a difference with me. But let me tell you, in this case, I was struggling. I said, what's wrong? I'm saying this over and over to myself, but I'm not feeling. And then suddenly it struck me, this is not just about, you know, God loving me or my family loving me. Sorry, it's not just about God loving me, but it's about a human being, another human being, a person loving me. Not loving me, but understand me, loving me, okay, whatever. If it's my family, yeah, but my family loving me. And so the question that just then came up for me, and this was just on Friday, when I was in a call with Aya, my dear mentor, and I shared this, and she said, do you love yourself? Do you accept yourself? And suddenly it struck me, oh goodness me, that you feel so sensitive, about this, about small pain, a small pain. So, and suddenly it struck me, so many people have loved me, and in words, and I feel my God all the time loving me, but I've never taken it in and accept, said, yeah, I'm so lovely, and yeah, my children love me so much, my husband loves me so much. I've never taken it in. And can I do that more to myself? Can I affirm myself? Can I accept myself? Can I love myself more, so that when somebody says some small thing that I should not feel so much pain, and I should not feel my defenses kind of coming up in me. Yeah. And so this was a lesson. And you see how I'm continuously learning and getting stronger and more resilient with each moment of discovery of this gift of, how I can process it and go deeper and deeper. Yeah. And so, yeah. And now, and only after I feel strong and healed and whole in myself, only after that can I have empathy for the other person, for the enemy, and try to go and have a conversation with that person, or just open my heart, even without a conversation. I don't need to distance this person. I can just accept her as my human world family, and just hold her for who she is. Okay, now, so empathy for the enemy. Recalling the original incident, I get curious and guess what needs the other may have been saying yes to. From their point of view, what might have been their positive intention. So in this case, this girl wanted possibly to hear the shared wisdom of the group, and wanted to hear someone else's voice. This could have been her positive intention. What might have been the need? Try to guess of the other person. And this is because all human actions are an attempt to meet needs no different than my own. Needs, beloved divine energy, the innocence of this energy. The conflict is in the strategy, is how this pure longing is satisfied. Consider the idea that just like me, this person was doing the best they could to get their needs met. And if they knew another way to meet their need with less cost, perhaps they would choose that. Perhaps because they were wounded, maybe as a child or maybe later in their lives, and they did not get enough empathy to heal their own wound. They may have decided that I will never be a victim again, and I would rather be a perpetrator. When the perpetrator does not take responsibility for his or her actions, own, and make efforts to repair the harm done, then one may need to use the protective use of force to protect him or her from harming himself or other people. If we could read the secret history of our enemies, we could find in each man's life sorrow and suffering enough to disarm all hostility. Understanding is love's other name. You can't love without understanding. So when I can make sense of or understand the enemy's choices based on their needs, it brings relief to me. It doesn't mean I have to engage or agree or like the enemy, but I can choose to not continue in anger, which only poisons me. If I can have some compassion for the other person, it is like taking care of myself, because my needs for peace within are met. It may have no effect on the other person. If I can have some understanding and peace about what happened, trying to understand the needs of the other person opens my heart in compassion. I can see their humanity and the energy with which I am holding the enemy. It changes, it transforms, it shifts. And so, step number 12, what is one step that I can take right now that honors the needs that I have identified for myself? Now, as I am taking, I need to get in touch with what is alive in me right now. Is it my need for protection at this moment? My need for connection? There are two big groups of these needs for protection and needs for connection. And protection always comes before connection. Because if I'm not safe, then I cannot take care of someone else, like the oxygen mask that I need to put on first before I take care of the other person. So my question is, can I have the next slide, please? The next point, please. So am I going to go for just protection in the moment, or am I going to go for, am I feeling strong enough and resourced enough in the moment to go for protect? The next slide, please, Jen. Protection plus connection. So I'm able to take care of myself and also connect with the other person. So my need for protection comes before my need for connection. So I disengage to look after myself. And in that time, I self-connect, like with self-empathy, and I self-resource myself, like with self-empathy, so I can get back my personal power. Because maybe I feel that I don't have the capacity to take care of myself in the moment. So I may disengage in the moment. I will only give up my defense strategies of self-protection when it is safe to do so. After I have discovered a new way of being a human being. There are times when being separate from others is healthy. I don't expose myself to harm or pain. When I expose myself, and if I don't have the capacity or the internal resource in the moment, and I don't know how to take care of myself when I am with that other person, then I create boundaries for my self-care. And I can love and wish that person well from a distance. And I hold everyone with dignity and honor. And I have my boundaries and my choicefulness online. And I honor myself by choosing where I am engaging and where I am not. This is healthy. And it is unhealthy when I put myself up and put you down and judge you. So there is no judgment and one-upping. And I can still have my preferences, and I can hold them as my preferences. And I can persist in asking you for what I want, while holding everyone's choice sacred, with no threat of punishment. So how do I hold my judgments? I'll give you the metaphor of, consider a rattlesnake and a garden snake. I want to understand and have the judgment that this is a rattlesnake. And in the interest of my survival, I have this judgment. And this judgment is a form of seeing clearly and observation. Data that it has bit, it's got poison in it that can kill me, okay? If it bites me. So when I am interacting with a human being, and when I can understand his unique culture, his unique trauma history, his unique patterns of behavior, then I can more clearly understand the landscape of who I am dealing with, who I am interacting with. And this kind of discernment is a form of neutral observation, of seeing clearly what is, and not putting the person on a power difference of this one is good and that one is bad, or this is better and that is worse. So I can appreciate the rattlesnake or the person from a distance, but I don't want to cuddle up to it and bring it home. And I don't go one up and one down and believe that just because I can't get my needs met by this particular creature, that gives me the right to go vilify, bomb, and kill it. So when I reclaim my personal power and personal choice, and when I have a new way of being, when I'm connected to my personal power and my personal choice. And I have a new way of being. Only then can I drop the enemy image. The medicine for enemy image is self-empathy and empathy. Self-empathy for myself and empathy for the other person. And after giving myself self-empathy, after connecting to myself and giving myself self-empathy, and after giving empathy to the other person and connecting with the other person in this way through empathy, then I can feel strong enough to be in conversation with you. Then I can choose protection plus connection. When I feel self-connected and safe and know that I can keep myself resourced and safe, then I interact with the other and I enjoy the diversity of human beings. And now, as I told you, this process just going of getting in touch with my personal power goes on. And I have this beautiful experience just on Friday, that's about 3 days ago, where I need more, I discover I need more, to get more in touch with my self, love for myself and my acceptance of myself. And I'll have more power to not feel so, so kind of, I'll be more resilient and not be so easily hurt. So this search goes on, this discovery, this growth, this evolution keeps going on for me as well as for the other person. And with that, can we take a community breath together and come back to a space where I would like you to give you the opportunity and to invite you to go into breakout rooms and maybe we will take 7 minutes each. That is plus 1 minute for countdown, to share anything that comes up in you and is alive in you and you would like to share with your partner. Thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
Yeah, Juliana, I have a quick question for you about breakout rooms. So the folks that came just about half an hour ago to the call, there is 6 of them. Should I just pair them? Should I just break up the existing pairs and put them with someone that's here the whole time? Or
yes.
What would you like me to do?
No, so what I would request you, Jen, just those who are already in their breakout rooms, put them into the same breakout rooms. And the 6 who join, we will, if possible, can we create separate breakout rooms just for these 6, 3 more breakout rooms? Is that possible? If not,
yes.
then we'll just
and I'll try and just that. I'll put the instructions of the whole process in the chat for them since they might have missed that.
Just to share whatever is alive in you and you would like to share with your partner in the moment. Any insights?
The person that I was with said she was leaving for the evening, so I'll be in the breakout room with nobody.
Yeah.
No,
so
it's okay, Francesca. There's quite a few that's the case. So I'll put you guys together.
Okay.
You folks together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Francis.
So I'll need about 2 or 3 minutes, Juliana.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
And Dawn, are you able to join a room now, or would you be still putting kids to bed? And if I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume kids to bed is the answer.
Okay, I can join a room now.
All right. Thanks. All right. Almost have them here. And so yeah, so folks that were here for the process, yeah, please feel free to share well, actually just anyone, whatever. Juliana, can you say the prompt again, please?
Yeah, so the prompt is just share whatever's alive in you, any insights, anything that, any takeaways, anything you want to share. Yeah, thank you. And 5 minutes for each person, not 5, 7 minutes for each person with a countdown of 1 minute. So 15 minutes totally for the two. So,
All right. So I'm going to, yeah, so 10 minutes, 60-second countdown. Did you just say, Juliana? I'm
yes,
multitasking
yes.
too much. Okay, yeah, I'm going to open all rooms. I'm going to pause the recording.
All right, right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back again. And I would love to take some questions, anyone, or any sharing, or any celebrations, any mornings, anything, any insights you want to share. Please use the space. Any clarifications? Dawn, do you have your hand up, Dawn? I'm not too sure. I can see a little picture of a hand, but I'm not sure.
I saw Lynn's hand.
Okay. Here I see hands. I see hands. Yes, Alison, please come.
So Lynn is first, Juliana? Lynn first, then
Okay,
Allison.
sorry, where is
Yeah.
Lynn? Yeah, welcome, Lynn. Yes, Lynn. And then we go to Alison. Yeah.
Well, thank you for this whole process. I appreciate it. My question is a little different in that for me, the enemy, the person on whom I've given this enemy image, he's blocking something that feels really important that I'm trying to accomplish. And so I get down to the bottom part, and I don't feel a need to have him in my life normally, but because we're in this project, I'm trying to figure out how. I don't know if I can say this very clearly. Sorry, probably. It's like I have to decide what I have to discern. I like that word, whether it's worth trying to get along with him enough or even push him from what's been happening is I wrote a proposal. He kept throwing the proposals away. Now the thing has started, but because he didn't, I'm sorry. I think maybe I should just let somebody else talk. The bottom line is, it's not so much whether or not I feel safe with him or whatever. It's just more, do I re-engage with him in some way to try to preserve this project?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm really hearing that you are in a dilemma, wondering whether to keep him or to distance from him, to keep him as part of your team or distance. And I just want to say one line here, which is my closing line, that my life energy and your life energy is precious. So I will choose my level of involvement in anything. And you know the territory best, your territory. And just keep this in, as you keep all your needs on the table, which need is it that you want, and all his needs on the table. And then which needs would you like to give priority to, so that honest conversations with care, always first care, express care before expressing honesty, that I care about you, and whatever, appreciate what you can. And then express your honesty and see if a conversation works. There are so many options for you, so many strategies. And finally, you choose what works best for you and what is most life enriching in a way that is most life enriching for you and for the other person. I hope I have answered you, Lynn, to some extent.
Well, thank you. That's how I feel, is that my life energy is precious and limited, and therefore I have to choose whether I care enough about this project for him to get in the way of good expression of my life energy. So it does feel like a dilemma in that way.
Thank you, Lynn, for sharing.
Thank you.
And yes, and Alison.
Well, your journey with your own process was so helpful to me. The big piece that I have been missing utilizing in my life for as long as I can remember, no one has ever spoken about protection. No one has ever spoken about the snake that can bite and kill you. It's a huge dilemma in my life, and in some ways, my kind of naive way of viewing and operating the NVC process, I have not addressed that critical life-saving element of protection that you talked about today and made so integral to your own process and how you laid out. It's not an easy step, you know, it's a practice, and it's a self-awareness. It was really appreciated the detail in both the concepts and the needs and the process, the depth and the richness and the depth and the broadness of the process needed to really do this kind of discernment, awareness, and healing work. And wow, thank you. Protection, super important. And I have heard no one speak about it, especially with the beauty and the heartful wisdom that you brought to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you so much. And this came so clear to me, and I want to acknowledge Yvette Erasmus at this stage, because this came so clear to me thanks to Yvette, my mentor, another mentor I have. Yeah. And yes, and we are all on this journey of this journey is of personal growth. It's a journey. It's not a destination. It's an ongoing process. So I'm so happy that, you know, with each insight that I get and that you get, and really grateful for that. Yeah. Yes, Tanya.
Well, we're almost out of time, so there's probably not a time for you to go into this. So I was a little bit curious about after we give ourselves self-empathy, then I have on your chart, this is empathy for the enemy, and somehow it seemed to be related to the communication protection part of what you were saying, but I was trying to, when we were in our breakout room, we were trying to like make a clear statement about it, and both of us realized that we were not able to make a clear statement. I wonder if you like have like a very short, obviously, because we're almost out of time, but short, how that relates to empathy for the enemy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tanya. So what I have noticed is I cannot have empathy. By empathy, I mean trying for the enemy. Trying to guess the enemy's motive, needs, the feelings that made them make this whatever choice they make, trying to imagine and understand that. That is what makes me see that we are all human beings with, you know, universal beloved divine energy. The same need, beloved divine energy is in the enemy. but they don't know how to fulfill and let that energy flow and fulfill that need. So the conflict is in the how they meet the strategy they use to meet the need. So when I try to see this open my heart to the need of the enemy, it's like opening my heart to the beloved divine energy flowing in the person, trying to understand and make sense of them as human beings, so we can feel, I can open my heart to just the humanity, and all of us human beings are imperfectly perfect, and growing towards that. And the other question that you asked is, unless I first give myself, that's about empathy for the other and trying to connect to the other. I cannot connect with the other and have compassion for the other unless I'm strong in myself. And so I need to give myself empathy, connect with myself, so I get back my personal power and my personal choice. Sometimes I may not be able to get it to myself, so I may share it with some friend and get empathy from them, and but it's so important that I be healed and whole, to some extent whole, because that's all. Healing is a process, and only then will I be able to give empathy to the other person. That is my experience, Tanya. Yeah. How does that now? How is that now?
Okay, so how does
For
that
you
relate
too?
to protection and connection? That's
So once I have got back my personal power and personal choice, I have to choose. Do I have enough energy, am I enough healed that or not? So am I strong enough or not? Inside in or not? So if I feel strong enough, don't feel strong enough, then I will still hold on to my defenses and keep my distance and protect myself. But when, I'll still keep my boundaries. And maybe I can have keeping my boundaries when I feel strong enough. Plus, I'm able to, when I'm healed with self-empathy or asking empathy for myself from someone else, and then I can reach out to the other from that place of strength, place of connection to my personal power within me, my source. For me, it's my source of power within me. Yeah. Thank you.
that makes sense.
That's why.
That makes sense. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. And Dawn, yes, Dawn.
You. Hi. I was just going to share
I know.
about the protection piece, and how it's all tied in my own experience, I guess, has been that that discernment word that has come up, and being able to I guess discern, is this a one-time situation with a person, or is this something that's ongoing? And from that point, like you were talking about, Juliana, tapping into that inner source of protection for myself, where I decide now how close this person is in with me and in my inner circle of trust, I suppose. I don't, trust maybe isn't the right word, but how close they are with me. And my experience is when I allow, when I have kind of gone into my own dignity and my own power of choice about that, and that person is now at a safe distance, it's a lot easier for me to reflect and to no longer be threatened by them as an enemy anymore, and to see their humanity. But until then, it's usually about that necessary step about, protection first, and then moving to, the empathy for the other. But maybe not in every situation either. It really depends on how deep the harm has been, and that kind of thing, or maybe if it's an ongoing thing or whatever, right? So every situation is a little different. But thank you.
So I resonate with you, Dawn. I just want to tell you that. And for me, about, is it an ongoing thing? Yes, it's an ongoing thing from moment to moment, because I only have control over my choices. I do not have any control. I can hope for a certain outcome from the other person. So all the time I have to be discern what are the other person's feelings, needs, what are the other person's capacity to regulate their nervous system, what are their intentions. I have to keep checking all of that for my own sake, for my own well-being. So I believe, and yet trust, but all the time first taking care of me, and then reaching out to you. Okay, that's the way I see it, because it is an ongoing process, and I can only take responsibility for my own intentions, my own feelings, my own needs. I can take 100% responsibility for that, and I cannot do that for the other person. I can also take responsibility, and in the sense of caring for the impact of my actions on the other, but I do not take responsibility for how the other person, experiences what I am, how I'm interacting when I interact from my heart, vulnerably, honestly. Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. How is that, Dawn? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I want to thank every one of you for your presence and your participation here. And I am on my certification journey with Jim Mansky as my assessor. And so I'd be very grateful to you. Jen has posted a feedback form. If you could just take a few minutes to fill that up before you go and submit it back to Jen so that I can use it in my portfolio, okay, on this journey that I am currently on. And thank you very much for that. And I'm complete. Yeah. And I will stay on for a few minutes after the call if anyone has any more questions. So please now, if you could click on the feedback form and fill it for me. Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge Jim, Jory, Yvette Erasmus, Aya Caspi, all of these. And there's also Aga, I don't want to forget her, who have all contributed to my understanding of this topic, transforming enemy images. Thank you so much. And see you again soon, next Monday.
Yours,
Maybe when Jim is back.
you're going to stay on for a few
Thank you.
minutes, yes?
And we will.
Yes, I
this
am.
call will
First, yes,
end-
I'm going to stay on for the next 15 minutes. You can fill up the feedback form, and I'm here to answer any questions. Okay? Yeah, thank you.
And Jen, if I
If you
can't fill out the form right now, can I send it to you at the link there, like tomorrow?
So just if you click the
yes, you
link,
can.
then it will. Go ahead, Juliana.
No, you speak, Jen, because you're the one. Jen is actually managing this for me, so Jen will tell you about that.
Yeah, so if you just click the link and you can fill it out, and when you hit submit, it comes to me. So
Okay, great. Because I did copy and I've got the link already up on my
nice.
net. So
Yeah,
okay,
thanks,
great.
Allison.
Thanks.
And then just another technical, I'm just going to pause the recording here. Another technical piece